Hello, everyone. Hello out there. Hopefully, everyone's doing just great today. How are you, everyone? All you great people that watch these videos. I do have a new video coming out. It will be coming out in about 15 minutes. 15 minutes or so. Maybe a little bit less than 15 minutes now. But it is on a controversial subject matter. So some of you may unsubscribe. Now, I want you to subscribe. Yes, I don't want you to unsubscribe. No, but this was a video that had been requested, and that's coming out soon. I'm doing this video that you're watching right now, but it's something totally different. Don't forget, right there, boom, 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 boom. Please do subscribe. If I'm losing subscribers, someone asked me the question of the video that I'm doing that's coming out here in a few minutes. It's coming out in a few minutes. So what is going on with that is someone had asked me. They say I'm having some difficulties. Would you please help me with this? It's more of a from this part. I always say it's from the top of her head to the bottom of her feet. This is more on the old noodle. A longtime friend was having some issues on grasping things, and he said, "Man, I don't know why I'm having these issues. I watch your videos, David. I've known you since we both. I think we're in the 6th grade. Let's see." Yeah, because I was in a combined class, a 4th, 5th class together. They were passing experiment with everything during the 70s. 4th and 5th combined class. It was a nightmare. It was like 2 different teachers, and they had a room, and they had a divider that went between the room, and they would open the divider, and we would have class together, and then sometimes we'd close it, and we'd have class just with our teachers. Whatever. I was in Mr. Peters' class. Nowadays, if you tease, probably for the last name Peters. And the other lady, her name was Mrs. Hunovan. Well, I can't remember that. But I met him when I went into the next grade, which was the 6th grade. I had Mr. Barkley, and he was an exchange teacher from Wales. What a weird 3 years of education I received at Jackson Elementary School in Pasadena, California. Did you go to Jackson Elementary in Pasadena? If so, go. I don't know what they were. The Jacksonettes. I don't know. Like in my high school, the Vikings, and you remember that. It was funny because a lot of my classmates were African American, and they said it's kind of a weird, the blonde haired guy holding a bolt of lightning or whatever, or a sword, and we were the Vikings, and that's why I think I know what it came from. It came from the space program, the Vikings, because they had a contest to see who could name the mascot. You had to be a student then, and one of the older students that I knew, way older than me, because I think that school became a school in the 60s, so when it became a school, I think I was in the 4th grade maybe, but it became the Vikings because of the space program and the spacecraft, the Viking. So he and I have known each other for a long time, and he was just having some issues, some concerns, some worry, and he said, "You know what, David, I think you're right. Not on everything, but I think I'm worried about something that's, for one, out of my hands, and 2, it's not going to be as bad as everyone is saying." Now, we are going to have an eclipse. Someone did ask about the eclipse. I didn't put it on. This is a Q&A, as you can tell by the title. I'm filming this right now. I haven't titled it yet. I got to come up with something clever. Q&A! Do you have a question? What's your question? You had this something clever, something, a hook. They say have a hook. You got to hook them in right away. So I'm trying to hook you. There's a hook right here. I'm going to be answering some questions. Now, I may not give you the answer that you want. A lot of times we ask a question, and if you don't get the answer you want, you say, "Well, why did you ask me that question?" Obviously you want me to give you a particular answer. And I can't give you that answer if it's not the answer. So don't be afraid to ask questions, but don't don't be shocked at the answer. These are not that controversial. There's a total of 9 this time, 9 questions. But yeah, so the video coming out now shortly. Hopefully it doesn't cost me too many subscribers. So let's go ahead and get started on this. This is the Q&A. This is number whatever. I'll have to look it up. I will probably post it on their Q&A, and maybe I'll put the number as well. I'll look it up before I type onto the thumbnail. I think I can put Q&A number whatever. So you know, Q&A stands for question and answer. Question and answer. So here's the questions. The first one is, should we, a lot of these questions are always asked of me, but I think they're really asking for them. So this question was, should we pay extra to modify our meals? Now, I think what they mean is, should they, or is it a good idea, or do I? So there could be multiple facets to that question. So I'm going to answer it in the most generic sense. Now, paying to modify, I don't think we should have to if it doesn't cost them any extra. So if I say, hey, I can't have the French fries, can I have a small side salad with ranch dressing? Now that should be something they should know. Oh, yeah, okay, we'll do that for you. You're a good customer. We should do that. If I say something like, well, hey, I see that this comes with a side of garlic bread, instead of having that half of a hot dog bun size of garlic bread, can I have a 16-ounce New York strip steak? Now that's ridiculous. So the answer would be no. I don't think we should have to. My good friend Emily is a vegetarian, and we would go out to eat, and a lot of times they would charge her for modification. I can't have the bacon. Oh, you can give you extra hash browns, and we say 75-cent charge. Why? The hash browns are cheaper than the bacon. We have dogs that we can feed the bacon to, so now we'd order it probably the way it comes with the bacon on the side. Please don't put it in a little container. Don't put it on the plate. And you got to kind of trust them, because we don't really know. We don't know what happens behind the scenes. But I don't think we should have to pay for modifications. Will I, if I have to? I would hate to say, can I have this meal, but I can't have the bread or this, and they say, okay, well, we'll give that to you, and I pay the same price. I think they should either change the price, then we'll do that, or allow substitution. A lot of times it's special, they'll say no substitution. Okay. Number 2. Do I get lonely exercising alone? No, I do not. I think she is as well. Maybe once again that could be she finds herself getting lonely exercising by herself. Also for safety, make sure it wouldn't necessarily be a loneliness situation. I think we should concern ourselves with it be more of a safety thing. Safety in numbers. That's common sense. So do I get lonely exercising? No, I'm there to do the exercise. I don't go out and walk the trail, for example. I can't walk right now because of my injury. But when I go to walk the trail, I'm not saying, man, I bet I meet a lot of nice people out there. I might pet a dog. And a lot of times I do. I'll pet a dog. One time a lady was walking a baby goat, and I got to see the goat. Oh, hi, goat. And that. And sometimes I wave to people. I'm walking down the trail this way. And kind of as we drive, I'm on this side of the road, for example, and somebody's walking this way. And I'll say, they'll have this. A lot of people put things to ignore us. Or people put like dark glasses, earbuds in, or something, so they don't have to talk to anybody. And because they're trying to get exercise too, I'll wave, and they'll wave, and so they're running, and I'm walking, and I wave. I'm like, the happy neighbor. But no, I do not get lonely exercise alone. This next was artificial sweeteners. Do I use them? I try not to. They were talking about using like stevia, I think was one of them, Splenda. You see this a lot on Facebook. A lot of people will ask about what can I use? I'm trying to drink my coffee. I'm drinking coffee right now, so you don't think it's a prompt. Oh, that spilled. Okay, I can't sue McDonald's. I have to sue myself. Okay, now I patted it off. But yeah, they always say, "Oh, my coffee tastes terrible. I need a sugar substitute." Or I just got rid of the sugar. I just said, "Well, I'm not put sugar in my coffee anymore," and that's how I modified mine. They also ask about creamers. Some people use whipping cream, and some people will use whatever. I use a little half and half. If I have to drink it black, I was on set the other day when I had Tiger Lily. Go back that way. Yeah, I'm pointing off to my right hand shoulder, so it should be pointing to the left, which should indicate. Oh, don't forget to subscribe. You go back there and you'll see a day on the set with Tiger Lily, the bearded dragon. I had to drink some black coffee there because when you get the Starbucks, that box, and you open the thing, you pour your own coffee. They're supposed to you're supposed to get a big cup full of half and half, and they put that little green stopper in there, and that's what you use to pour it in your cup, and you close it, and the next person, they didn't get one. So yeah, black coffee. So yeah, none of the artificial stuff. If it has the chemicals in it, none of the diet pop, soda, soft drink, cola, Coke. Everything's a Coke, right? No, none of that for me. My body just can't handle it. I don't get sick, but my brain thinks, hey, we're having sugar. Let's make some insulin. Then I don't need the insulin because I'm not having sugar. Then I go pee and I get rid of that insulin when I could have used that insulin to help me with my diabetes. Okay, this is a weird one. Next one. I think I understood the question. Buying prescriptions without a prescription. Ooh, that sounds illegal. I know you can go to Mexico. Ah, a lot of fun. Mexico, wear a big hat and get a picture of myself on a donkey and running around Tijuana and being a nut. It's dangerous sometimes, so be careful. It's dangerous to be in Beverly Hills now or whatever, or all the nice areas of the United States. All of those are dangerous as well. I'm not just saying only Mexico, but yeah, a lot of people did go down and buy some of those. What's it called, FinFan or whatever that they were doing that. They're going down to Mexico and get that without a prescription. The reason they give us a prescription a lot of times, I don't think they're trying to be mean to us. They're trying to say, hey, you know what, your body can't have this. What if there's something in the pharmaceutical? Maybe you're going to a legitimate good Mexican, for example. Let's talk about going to Mexico, not buying it from some street dealer for whatever it is that you need. Some people do use speed to regulate their weight, to lose weight. That's very dangerous, I think. So if I'm very, very heavy and I have diabetes and high blood pressure and all this, and then I take speed on top of that, that might be fatal. Yeah, that could be fatal. Yeah, not just David, I got a bad headache. I took too much speed. Oh man, what can I do to counterbalance this? I can't sleep. Oh, I'm all jittery. So yeah, no, for me, for you, probably too. If you ask your doctor, should I go into Mexico and buy? I always say ask your doctor first. So if you say, hey doctor, I'm thinking about going down to Mexico. I need a Ozempic. You won't give me a Ozempic, and it's in short supply here. And I understand they have a Ozempic there, and they even have a generic that they make there. It's not our drug administration that would be monitoring that. It'd be theirs. Plus, you got to sneak it back across the border. Are you allowed to? Sometimes they'll say you can bring a certain amount of whatever across the border. I know someone that gets a high dosage painkiller. It's not like codeine or anything that's addictive. It's just the quantity is really high, and if you take too much of just the standard one that's here, it causes a lot of stomach problems. But you can get a higher dose one, and it doesn't have that whatever it causes the stomach because they removed it because they know you're gonna be taking a large quantity. So the smaller quantity, usually you don't get a stomach problem. That's the international sign for taking a medicine. It could be this too, or something else. Or shooting the tummy, or they have some medication you snort in your nose. It's not. I'm not talking about like cocaine or anything like that, but they do have some that you can. It was L-arginine. You can take it. I take it for vascular health. It helps regulate and move the blood through my system. You can also take it for a number of other things. I think some people take it for erectile dysfunction. Some of the erectile dysfunction drugs are supposed to be beneficial to diabetics. It keeps the blood flowing. Well, I guess what happens is it flows to a certain area. It came out as didn't it come out as a heart drug? I can't remember what it was. But anyway, Ozempic is for diabetics, not for weight loss. So a lot of doctors say, no, I'm not going to give that to you. Then you go down there, you get it, and what if it's not good? What if it's a bootleg and it's got fentanyl in it? I don't know. I'm not saying that they're bad people down there. I'm just saying I don't know who they are. If it's all in Spanish, I can't read it. And if there's a reason why my doctor's not going to give it to me, I would ask my doctor, well, why can't I get this? Well, why can't I get, female hormone pills to induce pregnancy? Well, David, you're a man. Oh yeah, thanks, doc. You saved me a trip to Mexico. So yeah, be careful with that. Be very, very careful. I would not do that. Let's see here. Okay, next question. Can I work with my pet? This is a can I, not a can you, David. Can I work with my pet without being seen? Yes. Yes, you can. That's an acting question. You'd be considered a wrangler, owner of the pet. You'd be the owner of the pet, so the pet would get some money, $200, $300 for the day maybe, and then if it's a SAG after project, it's a good chance you're going to have to get a letter from the Humane Society. It's not like the Humane Society. Oh no, it's the Department of Agriculture. That's right. I think the Department of Agriculture. You have to get a certificate saying that my dog has had my shots and my dog is healthy enough to. Sometimes you have to have a vet. So sometimes it's not worth it. Sometimes you might have to make a vet visit. Maybe that's $60, $70. You have to take time off to go take the vet. You want to do it. The letter's good for whatever number. I think it's 12 months. I had a big Rottweiler and he was on. He was on Gilmore Girls a few times, and he was in a commercial, and all that was SAG after work, so I had to have that permit. I think it cost me at the time. The doctor was very excited about that because she has some pedigree, not Basset Hounds, what were they? She had Beagles, and she had something else. I can't remember. Irish Setters, maybe. And she wanted to go and have her her pets on there. So she was pretty good with me, and she helped me, and I got my dog on there. But yeah, so you can definitely do that, but you'd be the wrangler. So they say, David, come get your bearded dragon. And I wouldn't be on camera. I get my bearded dragon, I go back into holding, and I put the bearded dragon. Her name is Tiger Lily. You put her, boop, 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 and she could poop on me if I'm not being filmed. And then I put her back in the little carrier so she can sleep, and I heat up her sock, keep her warm. But you're totally responsible for that animal. They do often come and they'll inspect there. One day we were working on, it wasn't Gilmore Girls, it was another one, not the Finisher, some name like that, I can't remember. But they came to inspect, and she had just left a site where they had like 500 hissing cockroaches in a room, and she had to check to make sure they were being treated well. Then she had to make sure my dog is being treated well. But your dog is your responsibility. But when you're on set with your animal, anything that dog needs, cat needs, bearded dragon needs, must be provided. So if I'm there, they say, David, hey, can you stay a couple more hours? Yeah, sure. Give me some more of that water for my dog. And then, oh yeah, I also need. He loved those, or now be she. She loved those dog biscuits. You get some more of those. Yeah. And then maybe I'd go when we eat our dinner. I would get a plate for myself, because you eat just like anybody else. You're a wrangler. If you're wrangling a kid, if it's your kid, you go first in line for everything. You are the principals and the crew, cast and crew. The crew goes first, and then it works its way back. It'd be, like the main crew, main principals first, with the children and their guardian or wrangler. Then it'd be some of the other, and then at the very end, the background. Get back there, background. Get in the back. Get in the back. So yeah, so I maybe would cut off give me the chicken there. It's not seasoned. Yeah, give me that, and I'd grab like a chicken breast, and maybe grab a chunk of roast beef for her. And then if it had skin on it, I'd probably pull the skin off if it seemed like any kind of. But you got to take care of your pet. But yeah, you can do that. A lot of money. Some people will go out and try to adopt or usually buy a really cute little. Excuse me. We got another storm coming in. A 1-day storm tomorrow, they said. That's why I'm filming indoors. I was going to film outdoors, but it already started raining. They said it wasn't going to rain. It is. It's sprinkling right now, and it's going to be pouring tomorrow. But yeah, some people go out and actually try to purchase the cutest teacup. And teacups a lot of times are bred, runt to runt. They're inbred, brother, sister, or this litter's runt to this litter's runt, and they try to breed them down. And a lot of times they have some problems. I'm not saying not to get one. They're expensive. Some of them $4,000. Sometimes you'll buy a bulldog. It might be $6,000. So if you're just buying it as an investment, please adopt, don't shop, and take care of that pet. So yeah, you can definitely do that. Let's see here. Okay, wow, this is pretty good, I guess. Food number 6. Food that's just too tempting. Do I ever? Yeah. For me, it's gonna be breads. It's gonna be like the artisan, really hearty breads. If I had a loaf, let's say I had a big loaf of like a really good hearty bread that they put butter and garlic on, and you throw it in the oven, I could eat the whole loaf. No exaggeration. I could eat that whole loaf in one sitting. So yeah, I don't really involve myself with that. Some bakeries, if they have food and bakery, like a restaurant where you eat your meal and the bakery, that's fine. But if it's just a pure bakery place, I might try to avoid visiting. This is more bringing stuff home, I think is what she was saying. You go out and you get a half gallon of ice cream. They don't have half gallons, or we always say half gallon. A half gallon of ice cream. I can have one scoop, one ball of ice cream, as a treat twice a week. But then you find that your twice a week becomes 4 times a week, and then it becomes 4 scoops, and it becomes daily. So if that's a problem for you, just maybe don't bring it home. If you don't have it, you can't eat it, right? Number 7, can you pay me to book you in films? No. I used to be working casting, and in that case, you wouldn't pay me. Production would pay me, and I'd book you, and it'd be free. But no, I don't have a service for that. Those are called calling services or call-in servicing. So that's my call-in service. My service calls out for me. And what those do is, like, if you're on set working, in the old days, you'd have to go put quarters in the machine, or a dime back then. It's your nickel, right? You hear that in those old 50s shows. Or there's, hello, Sarah? It's always Sarah. Hello, Sarah? There's a Sarah on Andy Griffith show. There's a Sarah on Beverly Hillbillies. Always her name is Sarah. I don't know why I made this comment back then, but No, that would be what you'd want to do. You want to get a calling service, and they would call for you, or try to get an agent. If you want to get an agent, they're probably going to require something on a resume. So, prepare a resume. Try to incorporate some of the stuff you do that's not acting. I got my agent because of the fact I taught shooting. I also have experience with working with animals and cars, so they like that because they know if they say I'm looking for actors that have a good knowledge of across the board work with animals. I said, well, David's not a veterinarian, but he's a pet rescue volunteer. He's worked with everything from small little pocket pets to large animals. He did some volunteer work with elephants. So they said, oh, really? Wow. And the person that's booking probably is not an expert, and they're probably saying, I'd rather have David than a real veterinarian. And also, I'll work cheaper than a veterinarian. If you're a veterinarian, you're taking a day off from work. Let's say you're gonna make, $1,400 that day, and you're gonna take it off. Then they want to pay you $200. You're probably not gonna do it. So no, I can't do that. Number 8. Well, there's only 9. Number 8. My foot. How's your foot, David? Wow, I hope it's good. I'm doing everything the doctor says. I'm changing the dressing. I have to use this now. It's called. Have you ever used this? Hydroferas. And what you do is you have to cut them to the size of the one. If your one's really, really bad, I had the brown ones when I was in the hospital for the 9 days, and they had a pack that actually stick the brown this thing. I think it's the same. It's kind of gooey, so it might have been a little bit different. They would pack it in there, and then they said that would never heal. That hole would never heal. So let's cut the toe up. It would never close up. And then by the 6th day, the nurse said, I can't put anything else in there. It's closed. Whew, good. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, taxpayers, for paying for that, because you saved my toe. That was before I did the 6 weeks of 4 IVs a day. Then if you go back that way, you'll see some videos on that. I did 6 weeks, 4 IVs a day myself. That was to get the infection out of the foot. So first I had to close up the foot, so when we closed the toe, so it went continuously. I could have done both simultaneously, but luckily it did close before that, so no more new infection can get in there. And the IVs would fight the old infection that's already in the toe, and it was moving throughout my body. So thank you so much for that. So it's better, but you just never know. I change this once a day, but then I read the instructions of this. The VA says do it once a day, and the VA didn't say anything about making it wet. The one I had. That they gave me was dry. They cut it in half and it was dry. So I did write them 3 letters yesterday. Tap, tap, tap. VA, I've written you now 3 times because it only lets you do so many. Oh no, I thought it only let you do so many characters, but their site kept crashing. That happens a lot. For those of you that are veterans, you know how the My Healthy Vet does crash quite a bit. So I wrote them and said, hey, this is thing to wet it and to do this, and it was in instructions from the VA. It says moisten and then apply, but they don't say what to stick it on there. It doesn't have any adhesive. It's just a foam pad that fights bacteria. So I put it on and I wrapped it. I didn't put any. I cleaned it up first with iodine. I had to buy this myself. Once again, thanks VA. This twice you guys screwed me on the same thing. I had to buy these myself. They were really cheap, and it's my toe. Yeah, it's my toe, my fault. So I want to save my toe, so I'm willing to invest $12 in that. So I just cleaned up with that, put the pad on there, and then I wrapped it with gauze. They sent me a box. It looks like big enough to put a 32-inch 1972 television in full of gauze. And I may have some right here from the last time. It's not that exciting. So here's a small one, but like gauze like this, and this is really big. I know they cut it in half. Then I just wrapped the toe. It's just to hold it in place. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, that's it for that question. I hope it's good. We'll see. Next appointment is a week from this Friday, so a week from tomorrow. That's also the day I pick up my dog from the vet. I got picked her up in the morning and then immediately drive out there. I got pick her up, drive. I'm not gonna leave her in the car with the stitches on her neck. Bring her home, get her situated, and I told me I have to have enough time to get there. So if something happens, I'm not gonna cut down the time available to take care of my dog. I'm going to do that and not go get my toe looked at that day. I'll have to reschedule. That's just the way it works. Last question: apple cider vinegar. Do I use it? And I have a video back there about apple cider vinegar. If you take a look at that, you'll see that I do use apple cider vinegar. They were asking me when and how much. Now, if you search just the regular internet launches, will say have 1 tablespoon with some water, mix it up, and drink that. Do that on an empty stomach. And that helps you with your heart issues. But I'm not really taking it for heart issues. I'm taking it for the full body experience. They're saying, so what I usually do is I'll take it in the morning, and if I remember, I'll take it in the afternoon. They say don't take it at night because it might get you kind of jittery, get you a lot of energy. It doesn't seem to do that for me. So I could actually do it 3 times if I wanted to. What I do is, as I remember it, I do it in the morning on an empty stomach because they said do that for the heart. Then what I'll do is when I take my next medicine 30 minutes later, I don't take any. But then if I leave, so let's say I got up at 8 in the morning. Yeah, right. No, let's say I woke up at 8 and I take it on an empty stomach. Then about 30 minutes later, I'm eating my food and taking that medicine. And then I'm going to leave at 2 in the afternoon. I would take it again. So I try to do it 2 to 3 times a day. I used to measure it out with a tablespoon and put in with a 5 ounce. Well, now I just kind of take the lid and I pour 1 and pour 2, and that's about a tablespoon. Not exact. I was using the Bragg. Right now I am using Bragg. Once again, the BRAGG, because they didn't have the generic. They all are like 5% acidity, or whatever it's called. Acidity, 5%. So I guess that's all that really matters. So anyway, everyone have a great day. That's the end of our Q&A. I don't know the number yet. I could look it up while we're doing this, but nah, who cares? This is the most recent Q&A. Subscribe. Videos that way. Go back and look at those videos. Look at the on the playlist. Take care, everyone. Have a great weekend. It's going to rain in California. Southern California. Take care.